Welcome to Level 1 Pilates Mat class. Please follow the guidance of my voice and look at the screen only when necessary. I want you to completely trust your feelings and vision of movements. Lie down on your back, bend your knees, and take a few deep breaths. The back of your head, the back of your ribcage, and the back of your pelvis are touching the mat. Your lower back retains its natural curve. That we're going to refer to as our neutral body position. And we're going to start with the pelvic clock exercise. With an exhale, tilt your pelvis so that your lower back begins to come down toward the mat, and then tilt the pelvis so that your tailbone comes down toward the mat. And we're just doing a gentle rocking back and forth. Move at your own pace and try to focus on the movement in your pelvis. Let's do a few more of these. Come back to your standard position. Now we're gonna tilt our pelvis from right to left. You're gonna start to let the back of your hip come down on one side and then the other. And your knees are not gonna go from side to side, but it's okay if you feel like one knee starts to reach forward as you're tilting. Let's do that one more time. And come back to your center position. Now we're gonna do some circles. Tilt back so that you feel your lower back come down, roll to the left, and then roll all the way around toward your tailbone and to the right. As if you were tracing around the outside of the clock, going from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock, down to the tailbone at 6 o'clock, and over to the other hip at 9. Let's do one more in this direction. And when you come back to the 12 o'clock, let's go around the opposite way. There's very little side-to-side movement of the knees. A little bit of reaching away is great. Few more times. Once you finish your last circle, come back to your standard position. We're gonna go into the bridging exercise. We're gonna start just like you did the pelvic clock, where tilt your pelvis a little bit back, and then you're gonna peel your body up until you're in a straight line, and then roll down from the top vertebra one by one until you're all the way down at the mat. When you get to the top, have the sensation of lengthening out through the knees. Take a breath in at the top and then roll yourself back down. Take an inhale before you go. As you exhale, begin to peel the body away up, lengthening through the knees. Let your shoulder blades widen a little bit as you roll down. Let's do 3 more of these. 2 more. Last one. When you roll back down, see if you can find your neutral position. That's the position with the head, ribcage, and pelvis touching the mat. Now lie on your side with your knees in a 90-90 position and both arms in front of you. Lift your top arm up, rotate onto your back, and try to stretch long, reaching with your arm back and with your top knee into the opposite direction. When you exhale, slowly come back, starting with your ribs. Once again, lift your top arm up, roll along the upper back, take a deep breath in, and slowly come back. Keep the width in your back as you raise arm in the air. Roll across your upper back, keeping the shoulder blades wide, and slowly come back. Before we repeat this on the other side, let's roll over on the stomach. Keep your hands beside your ribcage. Your face is looking down at the floor. Start to reach your elbows long and let the top part of your chest come up, and then roll yourself back down. As you're reaching your elbows back and starting to peel your body, inhale, and then exhale as you come back down. A few more times, extending only in the thoracic spine. Now let's do the book opening on the other side. Put your knees in a 90-90 position and stretch both arms in front of you. Lift your top arm up, rotate onto your back, and stretch long, reaching with your arm back. Slowly come back with an exhale. Lift your top arm up, roll along the upper back, take a deep breath in, and come back. We're gonna do this one more time. And roll over on your back. We're gonna bring both knees in towards your chest and hold on to the back of your legs, and we're gonna do the assisted roll-up. Push your legs a little bit into your hands, nod your head, look up through your legs, and roll all the way up until your feet touch the floor and you sit right up on top of your seat bones. As you roll down, leave your feet on the floor and begin to roll your pelvis, then lay your lower back, and your feet will just naturally come with you as you're rolling down. Take a breath in, and with an exhale, roll all the way up. Inhale and sit tall, then exhale and roll yourself back down. We're going to sit in the Z-side position. Your left leg is in front of you. If this position isn't comfortable for you, you can always sit with your legs crossed, or you can sit on a pillow or a yoga block. Take your right hand and place it behind the back of your head. Your left hand is going to go out to the floor, and we're going to go over into our side stretch, and we're going to pause there. Take a couple of breaths into your ribs so you can feel the ribs expand. As you exhale, melt gently into the stretch a little bit more. Inhale into the top ribs, and as you exhale, feel like you could go just a little bit farther over on your stretch, opening up the ribs. Come back up to sitting tall. Stretch both arms up to the side. Keep that sense of length and reach, and begin to stretch over all the way back into the same position, creating a nice arc with your arm. Come up to sitting tall and go to the opposite direction. Inhale as you're passing through the center, and exhale as you're stretching over to the side. Come back and pause. Now we're gonna switch sides. Let's put our hand behind the back of the head at first and go over into the stretch and feel how you push into the floor with your hand, and it gives you a little bit of support. Stay there and inhale into your ribs. And when you exhale, just melt gently onto the stretch a little bit more. No need to force it. You can just go with the breath, inhaling and exhaling. And then come all the way up with the arms in your T position. And here we go, stretching over, creating nice arc with your arm. Come back up to sit tall, and let's inhale as you're going up and exhale as you're stretching over to the other side. Expand the ribs, press gently into the floor, and that will give you some stability. And then go up and over, finish stretching to the other side, reaching long, and come back to sit tall. Come to sitting on your bottom with your legs stretched out in front of you. And let's go about the width of the mat. And we're gonna go into the spine stretch. It's really important that you're sitting up on your sit bones, so if you can't, you'd want to get something like a pillow or a block to sit on. Stretch your arms out in front of you. This is as if you were sitting up against the wall and you were gonna peel your body forward and down. So begin to nod your head and roll yourself forward until you get to the point where you're rounding your torso and you're still on your sit bones. And then begin from the bottom to roll yourself back up all the way tall, opening the chest and shoulders as you come up to center. Let's do this again. Nod your head and begin to exhale as reaching forward. It almost feels like your arms and abdominals are reaching in opposite directions. Begin to roll yourself back up, and let's do 2 more times. Exhale and stretching long. And roll yourself back up tall. Our last one. Exhaling and stretching the spine, rolling forward, and then begin to roll yourself back up to sitting tall, right on top of your sit bones. We're going to come to a position on our hands and knees. Align yourself so that your hands are underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips in a long body position. Let's move the body into a rounded shape. Allow your head and your tail to come under, rounding the spine, and then reverse that. Lengthen the body in the arc. Let's do this one more time. Now come back to your neutral position. Remember how it was lying on the floor, where your head, chest, and sacrum were in line. Lift and lengthen your right arm and then smoothly place it back down. Do the same thing on the left side, and our goal is to be able to move the arm without disturbing the shape of the body. And let's do the same thing with the legs. Begin to slide your right leg back and lift it up and place it back down, and do the same thing with the left side. And while you're lengthening the leg, keep track that the abdominals are pulling in just a little bit. Now let's do diagonals. So you're gonna take your right arm and your left leg and you're gonna stretch them out. So we're in the opposite arm and leg, reaching long, and smoothly place them back and switch sides. And the last time. Our last exercise is going to be in standing, so go ahead and bring yourself to standing. Now shift your weight forward and back just a couple times between the toes and the heels. Stop with a little more weight on the front part of the foot. To begin our roll down, just like the spine stretch, you're going to nod your head and peel your body forward. It's like you're standing against the wall, peeling down. Go as far as it feels comfortable. You can bend your knees to go a little bit lower and take a nice stretch at the bottom. Check, did you maintain your weight a little bit toward the front part of your foot? And if you need to shift your weight a little forward, and then begin to roll back up as if the pelvis starts the movement and you roll all the way back up to standing tall. At the top, lengthen through the top of the head, grow a little taller on the inside, and let's do this again. Curling forward, rolling down, keeping your weight forward. It's almost like you were curling over a helium balloon and that was helping you to keep you lifted. Take a breath in and begin to roll up. Your sit bones are gliding down and your pubic bone is gliding up the front. We're gonna do one more to finish up. Exhale and start rolling all the way down to the floor. Take a deep breath in when you get to the bottom and slowly roll back up, curling the body, finding your best, tallest standing position when you finish. Pause here for a moment, growing a little taller, letting the arms hang down. And relax. I hope you enjoyed this class, and please let me know how you feel in the comments.